All right, folks, welcome on in. We've got Ginger, winner of Low Tide City Melee Singles. First kind of big dub of the year for you. In fact, possibly your largest dub to date.
Yeah, absolutely. I've won a couple decently large net play events, but nothing of this size in person, which is obviously a totally different experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you came into this as the 4th seed. So it went Johnny, S2J.
Yep.
It went Axe, and then Kodorin, and then you.
Yeah.
So you kind of came into this outside of the scope of like the top 3. Most folks thinking, okay, if we record a seeding, you'll end up at 4th.
Yep.
And you defied expectations. I mean, you pulled through, and your top 8 bracket, man. You had a bit of a clearer path. SFOP kind of cleared out S2J from the way there. And then Magi superseded that spot as well. Reverse 3-0'd him. But you were able to start off with your Magi set, and it kind of felt like you had all the control in that. What were you thinking in that Falco to do?
So Magi is one of my good friends, and so we've played a decent amount. She lives kind of far from me, so we don't.
Sasha's in Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly. I'm up in Michigan. Yeah, so we net play a little bit, but I mean we're always hanging out like post tournament, getting in the hotel grind, you know.
There you go.
So I've played Magi quite a bit. I've also given Magi a lot of advice over the years, so it's sort of like I kind of know what I'm going to expect, right? And so I sort of have this mental plan going into it. So that makes it a bit easier to have some semblance of control. But I mean, one of the fun things about Magi is that she's down to scrap.
She really is.
Which
I mean, she revs her engine and she starts boxing like a mad woman.
Absolutely. So like that's my vibe in Falco Dittos. I'm like, okay, I love to scrap. I have a hard time with the Falcos that like maybe take it a little slower, go to the platform, shoot a bit more lasers in place. But against her, it's like, oh, this is my comfort zone. Like we're just vibing.
Yeah, birds of a feather, if you will.
Absolutely, yeah. Same feeling when I play Mango, actually. So I mean, it felt great to play against her, and she put up a hell of a fight. But I thought it was a good set overall.
All right, yeah. I really liked what I saw from that. I think it was 3-1 in totality.
Yep.
And that puts you in a pretty prime spot, winners finals. You had to deal with Axe, who just come off of beating Kodorin. Probably the harder draw of the two for you, because Pikachu's a bit of a wild card factor. It seemed, though, like you had a very firm understanding of what you need to do. What were you studying? Who were you working with on that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, funnily enough, there's no Pikachus here.
No, OKP's not here. Tyler Swift's not here. You know,
no Pikachus. So I was talking with Joey Donuts, who's essentially been just hanging out with me all weekend, and we're chilling in the warm-up station. He's like, should I find you a Pikachu or something? I was like, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, where are you going to find a Pikachu?
You're not going to find a Pikachu regardless.
Exactly.
And so what I told Joey, and what I would tell anybody, is like the reason that Falco beats Pikachu is not because you invalidate them by doing some frame-perfect weird tech. All of your standard Falco things, lasers, late aerials, shine grabs, just, you know, walling out with back air, using up tilt, all the things you'd classically do essentially in any matchup that might be kind of risky because those characters have counterplay, Pikachu just struggles hard. So it's like
kind of bully.
Exactly. So I'm just down to just be warm with my hands and just like kind of do standard things against Pikachu. And that's obviously comforting for me because, you know, I don't have to get so in my head about like, oh, I have to be ready for it. This percent, I have to do this exact thing. It's like, no, I'll just bully the Pikachu. They get sent off stage. You know, I just kind of do some standard stuff. So
yeah, kind of get to trust the process a bit more.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, even though it's Axe, right? Because Axe has a million bag of tricks, but he can't really pull them out against standard Falco things, which is the benefit that Falco has. I see him do terrible things to foxes.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot that comes where you have the gun in front of you, and then a prickly pair's worth of defensive options when it comes to being able to stop him from getting in on you. Now, you did have to beat Jeff twice.
Yeah.
He came back from losers, beat Kodorin, brought the count up from 71 to 73 this tournament on Marths that have lost to him.
Oh, no.
It's a record. It's a rough one.
Yeah.
But you had to beat him in front of his mom.
Oh,
it's a bit of a heartbreaker.
Oh, I know.
But you put that aside.
Yes.
And you focused on what was in front of you. What did you think was different from set 1 versus set 2?
Amazing question. So In set 1, I was curious what playstyle he'd come out with because we've actually played a decent amount of net play sets. I almost played him at like every net play event he entered, essentially. Because like he didn't enter much, but when he did, I somehow always ran into him.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd win, sometimes I'd lose. But he found a lot of success slowing things down and using platforms to kind of frustrate me, make me go in, overextend. He gimps me. Okay, he has a lead. Now he's slowing it down even more. Stuff's even harder. But in set 1, it felt like he's the fast, scrappy, quick ledge dashing axe that everybody knows where he plays in most matchups, or at least most player matchups. So it felt honestly a little bit easier set 1 to deal with what he was doing, although it was still game 5. But, you know, he tries to play like that. We go to Pokemon Stadium game 5, and I think that really shows the amount of control that allows me to have if, you know, I'm prepared to deal with his scrappy style.
Yeah, you played very safely under platform.
Yeah.
On the Pokemon Stadium game, I noted it was really tough for him to get in while you're just shooting the gun ever so slightly under platform, and then at that point you can always turn around up tilt.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the benefits, this is getting a little nerdy, but one of the benefits and one of the reasons why Pokemon Stadium is so good, and people overlook this all the time, is the ledge is very far away from the side platform. So I'm not really in the corner, but I'm protected by the platform.
Yep.
That doesn't happen on any other stage. If I'm in under the platform, I'm in the corner. If he hits me, this could be bad. And of course, it's like pretty good defensively, but on Stadium, it's like an extra burden. It's like even if he hits me, I'm not off the stage. You don't get a gimp opportunity. We still have to play another mix-up.
Yeah. You get more neutral interactions even if you do flub there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like you said, I had to beat him twice, and I was fully prepared. Again, I talked to Joey Donuts about it. I was like, I think, this is my prediction, he's going to come out and play a little slower, at least in the second set. And immediately you can kind of see him go to platforms a little bit more, kind of waveland between the two, wait for me, try to get some like cheeky up airs with like waveland off, immediate fast fall up air. And it's like, okay, this is exactly what I was ready for. Slow it down, shoot some lasers, pick my spots a little bit. And I think since, again, I was mentally prepped to deal with that, it made it a lot easier to kind of just push through and understand that this is what's going on and this is what I have to deal with.
Yeah. We had a little moment on commentary where we were talking about whoever wins game 3 wins game 5s mostly.
Sure.
And Axe did win that game 3 at first. Went ahead and I believe won the Yoshi's game in Grands set 1. The only set in Grands. But game 5, there was another moment where Mango, he said, whoever wins this stock, it was those last two stocks of the game for both of you. And he said, whoever wins the stocks wins the game.
Dang.
And I watched you get a back air, and I was like, yeah, I could see this.
Yeah.
Just the way that you two had been playing was, you know, so demanding of the other person.
Absolutely.
You know, whether it's Axe trying to coax you into a situation or you absolutely refusing to make poor decisions.
Yeah.
It really just became this last-second slog, whether it was the reset or you taking the tournament. It ended up in your favor. It's weird seeing that level of prophecy come out of certain people.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know, he's just been in that situation.
Yeah, he's maybe been around the block a couple times.
Just a few. But now you've done this, and this being, you know, number 1, you get the plaque. If you want to bring that on over.
Absolutely.
Little show off. There we go. Boom. And you are going to be sized up for a ring as well.
Yep.
You're not going to rest on your laurels, though.
No, absolutely not.
You are hitting some other tournaments in the upcoming weeks, upcoming months as well. We've got a big October, a big November coming through.
Yep.
Where are you headed?
I'll be going to Super Smash Con. I'll also be doing Smash World Tour stuff, Main Stage, Genesis. I feel like there's something in there, too, that I'm forgetting. Maybe another November tournament. I could be making that up. But, man, I'm going to everything.
There you go.
I've got my sponsor, Luminosity, who's supporting me, and I just want to get out there, represent them, and go to as many tournaments as possible.
Yeah, I mean, have will travel. And so I think that this being, you know, none of the top 5s here, we've got a few top 10 players with Axe, with S2J, and you coming through, making everything happen, you know, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. You're not looking to say, I'm better than this person.
Sure.
You're just looking, like you said, to play good melee. What's good melee to you specifically?
I mean, good melee to me is just consistent melee. I'm just trying to execute game plans consistently. Something that Fiction said, shout outs to Fiction, something that Fiction said is Ginger is the game plan master, but he's also ignore the game plan master. I somehow get in my head, I come up with plans for weeks and months to how do I beat Marth doing this exact option, and then I get in the spot and I'm like, maybe I can nair the guy, I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
On the fly.
So to me, it's just about being disciplined is a word that I use a lot of the time. Following my game plan and trusting myself, because with that comes consistency. So that's what good Melee is to me.
Fair enough. And you've had some help. You mentioned your coach as well. DrugFox. Yeah. Well, how long have you two been working together?
Oh, man. Maybe we're going on 3 years now,
3
I think.
years.
Yeah, I had this cute little stat where my win rate over time that's featured on PGstats, it was like kind of rocky. It's like chilling around 60% win rate. And then I circled the point where I started taking DrugFox lessons. And then from then on, it's just a constant upward slope. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I think he's a gigantic help to me. And obviously, I'm continuing to go up with the win at this tournament. So no, he's been awesome helping me.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan. Sammy's a great guy, and I know his coaching is just incredible. I've been able to get some secondhand tips that people are like, yeah, so DrugFox was telling me. And who knows, if you can always check it out. I know he offers coaching.
Yes.
Still has some slots available for people, I believe. Yeah, but with all this, with everything going on, like, do you see yourself as the second best Falco, or are you just shooting to be however good you can be?
I mean, I think it's kind of clear that I'm the second best Falco, right? The thing is, Mango's like making this weird switch to Fox, potentially.
True,
it's like, maybe I'm the best Falco, but it's not about that. I'm just about constant improvement. I'm just trying to, one day I'll be the best Falco. But I'm not focused on being the best Falco. I'm just focused on improving. And with time, trusting the process, that'll come, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I do kind of view myself that way, but in a way it's not important to me, right?
I appreciate that you're a man that's about the journey more so than the mountaintop itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me think here. Honestly, it's been a bit of a process getting here for you. It's been everything. And you talked a bit about your mental and trying to kind of structure yourself better. And you mentioned something DrugFox has said to you.
Yeah. So we were talking about my sets at Riptide, which I think most people understand was kind of an underperformance for me.
A bit of a rough one.
A little bit of a rough one.
The Ginger fans were clamoring.
Ginger fans were clamoring. I did place 13th. It's not like the biggest deal in the world. And I lost to Flash, who I already know is incredible. I love Flash.
Yeah, Flash has been kind of one of those hidden bosses for a long time.
Absolutely. But, I've net played him. I talk to him all the time. Flash is incredible. So I lost to the guy. I'm like, okay, that's a bit rough. I got 13th, but I know how good I am. But at that tournament, we were analyzing a VOD of me versus Kadoran, who I lost to in winners at that tournament. And he asks me, he says, do you even want to win this set? Ooh. Yeah. And
that's so brutal.
And I had to be honest with myself, right? Because otherwise, what's the coaching session? So I'm like, you know what? I don't think I did care about winning this set. And he's like, maybe that's something to care about, right? Like, maybe you should try caring, being vulnerable, putting yourself out there, and putting your emotions on the line, leaving it out on the field.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to detach yourself. And if you lose, it's so much more comfortable.
Well, it's almost encouraged sometimes,
absolutely.
Where it's like you never want to, analyze how you're feeling about your play. You never want to think about that. You just want to trust your hands and trust the process.
Yes.
But at the same time, you need that balance.
Exactly. Yeah, you need something to push you, motivate you to try, right?
Because you need to want it.
Exactly. You have to get something to bring you to the point of trying. Otherwise, you're just never going to win. So for this tournament, I beat SDJ, and I think that's kind of expected. Obviously, SDJ is incredible. He made an amazing run.
Yeah, beat Gatsu, beat Android Zero.
Ended up beating Albert as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
3-0.
3-0.
It was so rough. I don't know if you watched it.
Oh, I did. But dang, so I beat SDJ. Kind of expected, but he's playing hot or whatever. I popped off on the guy.
Good.
But I've never done that in my life. But I just told myself, I want to win every single game that I play. I'm going to play with emotion. This is the result, which is kind of cool. But of course, that comes with a balance of mental state and preparation and all that. So hopefully I can repeat that. But no, it's been great. I was popping off between games against Axe, also against Magi. It's just I wanted to win so bad. So actually winning feels fantastic.
There you go. And you've got your hunger back. You're ready to go into the season. And, we may not have a 2021 top 100, but we'll see you on that 2022 for sure.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
You've been a mainstay. And, Ginger, real pleasure.
Thank you.
Studebaker here signing off for PGstats.